Hello and welcome to my week 4 journal. My name is Jacob Duke and I'm excited to share you through what I've been learning this week in our class. So to start off, big idea. So the big ideas are super helpful for students learning very well and deeply within the math class. And it feels very much connected to what the Common Core state standards are doing now, where there's just certain things that, big ideas that students are learning throughout the years that can be seen done over and over and over again and building upon each other each year as students gain more knowledge in math. So some really big and helpful things about big ideas is that students will be able to build on knowledge that they just learned. So, it really helps students connect with, we're learning about, let's say we're learning about, shapes again. Okay. So how does geometry, what do I remember about geometry? Well, we talked about squares. We talked about how to find the area of a square. Well, now we're talking about rectangles. Okay, so let's see how this connects. So students will be able to build upon the knowledge they just had. It also helps students keep the knowledge they are learning because, they're building upon what they know. And so it makes them solidify these ideas that they've been working on throughout years after years after years, where instead of just, them learn it 1 year, like when I was in high school, I learned geometry 1 year and then I never had to use it again. So it helps keep those skills and knowledge fresh in their head and keeps them understand and be able to retain that information. Also, 3, students clearly understand what they're learning. The student goes into class and it talks about, hey, we're learning about shapes today. We're talking about geometry. Well, students know, okay, well, this is what I know what to expect. This is what I can know what I'm going to do here and there. And so it really helps students be able to clearly understand what they're going to learn and how to focus on it. And then finally, it connects different math skills together. So students are going to be able to be like, okay, I remember we talked about geometry, but, there's some addition with this, and, there's even some multiplication with this they all kind of intertwine, but, I know each of these different things, and I'm starting to slowly see how they work as I build on those skills again and again and again. I also watched the video this week of the teacher teaching the math lesson, and I thought she did an incredible job with her math lesson. She did a really, really good job getting those students to understand grouping and how that works. So some strategies I saw she did to engage students and to work with the students was she did some think, pair, shares, which was really good because students, were able to think and talk about other groups and then be able to share the whole class, the knowledge and information that they got. She also kind of started off with, somewhat of a hook where she talked about, what does the phrase "a picture's worth a thousand words"? So, what does that mean? And started students think about that, and students were interested in what that meant. She also reviewed what the students knew, so that that was really helpful for them to be able to recall back to we're learning about this, we talked about that. Maybe we're going to be talking about this today. This is what that concept means, this is what that concept means, this is how we use this concept, this is how we use that concept. She also did some me, we, use, where she herself showed how to do something. She worked with the class on how to do it, and then she had the students do it themselves and then display what she did. She also had some grouping models where she actually, put the dots on the board or drew diagrams, and students were able to clearly see exactly how the groupings worked, so it wasn't just in their head, they actually had a visible thing they saw, which was really good. And also she used word problems. At the very end, she had a really good word problem that, she kind of went through with the students and saw, what they saw and, kind of challenged them to think through this hard process. And she showed 2 different ways to do it and talked to the students about which way works and which way doesn't, and kind of help the students be like, okay, that's why it's 1/3, not 3 times, and it's kind of confusing, but the students got there in the end, which was really great. But if I was to teach this lesson, I'd probably teach a very similar lesson. I thought she did a fantastic job, like I said. I think, if that was a math lesson taught in class, I'm sure pretty much everyone would be pretty happy with how it went. Some things that I might change here and there was I probably would have one last word problem at the very end for the students to work on and try to solve on their own, because the word problem that she had, she's still very much engaged with the students, very much working with the students were working with each other even some. So I would probably have one where they try to work it on their own, maybe do an exit ticket type of thing, so that I can see how well the students kind of grasp the ideas themselves after kind of reviewing with them, going through it with them, and see how well they could do it themselves. I might also try to teach students who are struggling a different way to multiplication or division to see if that would be helpful for them, because I know grouping can be very helpful for some students, but it might not be as helpful for other students. So I might, try to teach them the traditional way, or right to left, or sorry, left to right, and just try to find different ways to to find a way that would be helpful for the student. And finally, I'd probably try to check in with all my students more often to see if they're understanding what is being taught. She did some checking with some students where she, called some students to see if to answer problems or to answer how things went. But I think she didn't quite do enough checking with students to see along the way if they're actually grasping what is being taught. So, hopefully you enjoyed my journal. It was great talking to you, and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.